is Mike Jr. I'm going to be doing my practical on the 5 exercises that I'll be doing with my client, and also explaining the different types of muscles that they do work. And so the first exercise that we're going to focus on is going to be a push-up. So a push-up, not only does it work out your chest, which is your pectoralis major and your pectoralis minor. Your pectoralis major, that's your chest. And then the minor, that's the muscle beneath your pectoralis major. So not only does your push-up work chest, but it also works out your core. It also works out your shoulder, which are your deltoids. And it also works out your bicep and tricep, because as you go down, you're doing the contraction, and also it also works your erector spina, which is your spine, your lower spine. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so as you can see with my client's form, the important part of doing a push-up, you need to have the correct form. So in which you need to be able to, it's like you're doing a plank. So let me just show me how you do a plank. So in that stance, then you just, okay, let's go. And then just slowly go down. Don't just your whole body moving. Yeah, that's perfect. And then you come back up. And then you go down. And then you come back up. So you can actually see the squeeze on my client's tricep as he's doing the push-up. And also the stretch on the muscles. And also the correct form is very important, as without the correct form, you can actually lead to injuries. And the next exercise you're going to focus on is going to be a squat. So what does the squat work? So mostly the important part of a squat is the form. Are you able to stand in the correct stance, and are your legs parallel with each other so that you can easily go down and come back up without causing an injury or whatsoever? So what muscles does a squat actually work? It works your core, as the moment you go down, you're actually squeezing your core and coming back up. The next thing it works is your calves, and also your gluteus maximus, which is your glutes. And then also it works your hamstring and your quads. So let's have a demonstration from my client, and then I can just correct from them. Okay, as you can see from my client doing a squat, it's very deadly or dangerous for you to squat with your upper body actually bent, because it needs to be straight. So let me just have a demonstration and show him, and then you can have a good squat. So what you need to do is just make your back straight, chest out, and then just slowly go down, and then perfect, come back up. So you can see between the stance that he was doing, the form that he was doing, and now there's actually a better form. As you can see, he's not bent, but it's actually a good squat, which also helps his hamstring as he goes down in the quads, and also working the calves. So the next exercise you're going to be focusing on is a single leg RDL, which works your gluteus maximus, which are your glutes, and your hamstring, and which the hamstring is divided into 3 muscles. Okay. So when you are performing a single leg RDL, as you can see, the stance is too much, as instead of him doing a single leg RDL, he's actually doing a lunge. So how do you actually perform a correct form RDL, single leg RDL? So you don't need to be further away, just that, and then it's like you're slowly picking up a bar, and then you come back up. So you can actually feel the squeeze on your hamstring. So this exercise actually works your glutes, and it also works your hamstring. And you need that perfect squeeze on your hamstring so that you can feel the tension and slowly go down and come back up. So that's how you perform a single leg RDL. The next exercise you're going to be focusing on is a bent over row, which basically works out your back. And a back is divided into different types of muscles. We have your lats, which is the down part of your back, and then we also have the trapezius, which is your traps, and then we have the rhomboid, which is just down below your trapezius. And then we also have the teres minor and the teres major, which are just in between the rhomboid. So when you are performing a bent over row, it also works your deltoids as well, because as you slowly go down and come back up and hit the squeeze, you're actually hitting the squeeze on your traps and the whole back. So I'm just going to have my clients demonstrate and then correct them. Okay. So from how my client is performing the bent over row, the important key part of performing a bent over row, you need to stand straight and then chest out, and then just slowly go down and then kick it all the way up, so you can get the squeeze on your back. So as you can see now, there's actually a perfect form in my client working the bent over row, in which this exercise is actually very important for your back and your lat. And also, last but not least, The final exercise that we're going to be working on is a plank. So the plank actually works out a lot of muscle groups in your body, which is your core, your deltoids, your erector spine, which is your lower back. It also works out your hamstring, your quads, so many muscles that it works. And the important key part of performing a plank is having to do the correct form. Because without the correct form, it can cause injuries. And for instance, you can go home with a painful lower back. So I'm just going to have my clients demonstrate and then correct them and show them how to do a plank. Here we go.
Go.
So, the important key part of performing a plank, your whole body needs to be a little bit spread out so that you can tighten your core as you do a plank, which actually works out your abdominis muscle, which is your core, six pack, as they call it. So, as you can see from the way he was performing and now, you can actually see that the tension is actually more on his core as he squeezes it so that he has a correct form.